Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how to list an item on your site using the WP AutoMall theme. This video might be a little bit longer than the other ones because I'm going to go over a lot of things. So you might have to, pause or rewind or fast forward to certain areas that you need refreshing on in the future. But I'm just going to try to cover everything in this video. So as you can see on the theme, we've got items that appear on the theme, and these are basically WordPress posts or custom WordPress post types that allow you to list a post on your in your WordPress site that comes out looking like this vehicle listing here. You can also use the theme to create regular blog posts that don't look anything like car listings, but if you use the built-in custom post type, which I'm going to show you how to use, you can create the vehicle listings like this. And if you've ever created a page or post on a WordPress theme before, it's basically the same process. So all you need to do to add a listing is just go over here on the left sidebar and hover over the listing menu and just go to listing, add new, and this is where you basically give the vehicle a name. So I'll just give this a name of test vehicle. And in the content area, you don't actually have to enter anything. I'll go ahead and just click on a vehicle listing to show you. So this is the item name, and that will appear right here. Whatever you enter in the content area here will appear between the this video and details tab and below this little features bar here. So if you decide to enter content in here, if you want to enter more images or videos or write-up or anything like that, it will appear in between this video tab and below the features of the vehicle. By default, we don't use this, but you can use this to enter additional content if you want to. The next step you want to do is give the vehicle some tags. You can go ahead and use whatever you want here. You can just enter coupe, sedan, whatever type of vehicle it is. Maybe you want to include the vehicle make. Maybe you want to include the condition of the vehicle. Tags aren't really needed to create the listing. They're just there for SEO purposes. If you want to use them, you can. If you don't want to, you can just leave this blank. The next thing you want to do is go under condition and select the condition of the vehicle. Before I go in and show you what to do on selecting the different category or the different features of each vehicle, such as the year, price, vehicle type, make, and all that stuff, I just wanted to explain how these categories work. So just like if you were creating a post within WordPress, you can basically select different categories that each listing belongs to. So in our case, we've got multiple different category types. We have a condition category type, we've got a year category type, price category type, a vehicle type category type, a make category type, and of course the category of the item itself. Now you can't change which category types each listing has. For example, you can't create a category type for color, and you can't create one for anything else, but you can add categories within the category types themselves. So just to explain that in more detail, for example, you can add another category under condition. Maybe you wanted to call it, I don't know, slightly used or rebuilt vehicle. Then you would click add new category here, and now you have a new category called rebuilt, and then you could assign each listing to that category. You could do the same thing for the year here. You can add more years under here, or you could just delete all the years that come with the one-click install and enter your own. Maybe you want to enter them in by decade all the way back to 1950. You can do that. Maybe your client's only selling muscle cars that were built in the 60s. Then you could create a different category for each year. So maybe 1960 would be one option, 1961, 1962, 1963, all the way up to 1969 or 1970 or whatever. That's up to you. Same with price. You could change these price options here. You can make them more specific. Maybe you can start them at 1,000 to 5,000 or 5,000 to 10,000. That's totally up to you. These are just categories that we created for the demo content just to get you up and running. So you can modify these however you want. Same with vehicle type. You can add additional vehicle types here. Maybe you have vans, that you're selling. Maybe you're selling RVs. You can put RVs there. And then you would just select that category when you're listing a vehicle that falls under that category. So if you're listing a van, you would select the van category. Same with make. You can add more makes, and you can also add more categories. So when listing a vehicle, assuming that you don't want to add, or you've already added all your categories, you just go in here and you select whatever category this vehicle belongs to. I'll just select new. In this case, we'll say it's a 2011, so we'll select 2010 to present, and it's under $50,000. Let's say it costs $25,000. So I'll select this price category. Again, I could make this more specific if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. We can say that it's a coupe, and we'll say that it's a Subaru. And whenever you start creating listings on your site, you should always have at least one main category that all vehicles fall under. This just allows you to create the different pages on your site, such as the newest listings. All these vehicles here fall under the inventory category that I've already created. If I wanted to show a specific kind of vehicle on this page, I could create a new category here and name it whatever I want. In this case, I could call it like trucks. And then if I was listing a truck, I could select the inventory category and the truck category. And then when I set my settings for this page here, I could select to only show listings from the trucks category, and then only listings that were trucks would show up here. But if you just want to keep things simple, just create one main category under here and just call it inventory that all your vehicles fall under, and then just use that to display your inventory throughout the site. So once you've selected all your categories to set all the options for your vehicle, the next thing you can do is you can scroll down here and you can enter in some SEO options if you want to. You don't really need to. You can just use the ones that come with your listing if you want, but if you want to, go ahead and just enter those SEO options here. Another thing you can do is you can enter in the item features. These are totally separate from the categories. So the item features are actually used on to display the vehicle features on the listing itself. So if you go to a listing, you'll see these little bullet points here. These are actually what is entered here. So entering the different categories for the vehicle will allow the vehicle to be discovered on the site through when the user searches for the vehicle based on category types. But if you want to show the different vehicle features, you'll actually have to enter those features separately under item features here to display them here. So this is what is displayed here, is what's entered under item features. So for price, you'll just have to enter that again. We'll enter the specific price of, say, $27,000. And actually, we don't have to enter a currency symbol at all. Just enter the value there, and then just select the currency. Right now, we only have currency settings for dollar, pounds, yen, and euro. So if you have a currency symbol that doesn't fall under these categories, you'll have to custom modify the theme to include your own currency symbol, but we are working on an option for you to add your own custom currency symbol, and we're going to be releasing this option in an update coming very soon. You can also enter the interior color right here. We would just enter the color of black leather or whatever. Then you can enter the year of the vehicle. We'll just enter 2009. For mileage, we'll say it has 50,000 miles. Drive, we'll say it's front-wheel drive. Vehicle type, we'll say it's a coupe. Transmission, we'll say automatic. And stock number can be whatever number the dealer uses to keep stock of their inventory. And the VIN number would be the actual VIN number of the vehicle. We'll just use a fake one here. And then miles per gallon can be whatever the miles per gallon of the vehicle is for city and highway. So if we were to click list item right now, let's go ahead and click publish. We'll take a look at the item and see what it looks like so far. It looks like a listing. It doesn't have any images yet because we haven't uploaded the images, but you can basically see the item title. Then you can see all the different features of the vehicle that we just entered right here under item features. And since we've selected all the categories that the vehicle belongs to, this vehicle listing will also now be discoverable when people go to search for specific vehicles on the site. So the next thing we can do is we can add some images to the listing. Now to add images, all you have to do is go over here and use the built-in WordPress image uploader. So just go over here and click on Add Media. So when you click on Add Media, you'll see that all these different images, if you have any images uploaded to your site, you're going to see the images here. But if you go over here under this drop-down menu and click on Uploaded to this post, you shouldn't see any images at all. So you actually have to add some images to the post itself. So just click on Select Files and just browse to your computer where your images are. I already have some images saved here that I used to create the demo site. In this case, we'll just use these Camaro images here. So I'm just going to select all these images by holding down the Control key on my keyboard and just clicking on Open. And WordPress is going to upload those images, and we're just going to give them a few minutes to finish. And all you need to do now is basically just close out the image uploader window. There's no need to insert them into the post or play with any of the imaging or the image settings themselves. The images will basically be automatically added to the listing already, and they'll be displayed in the order in which you uploaded them. So if you wanted to display images in the listing in a certain order, then you'll have to make sure that you upload those images in that specific order. And again, you want to make sure that you're under this drop down menu here where it says uploaded to this post. Otherwise you'll see all the images that are uploaded to your site. So make sure you go under uploaded to this post, upload your images, and then just close out of this window, and then just click update. And once that updates, if you go back to your listing and refresh the page, you'll see that the images have been added to the listing, and you can just click on them to view each one. The next thing you can do is add a video to your listing. So to do that, basically you go to YouTube. At this point, the built-in video tab only supports YouTube videos, so it doesn't support self-hosted videos or videos from any other site. So make sure that your video is on YouTube. So go to YouTube, find your video that you want. Maybe your client has their own channel, or they've uploaded a video of a specific vehicle, maybe a vehicle walk around or something like that. Basically all you want to do is grab the video URL, which is up here at the top in the address bar. You don't want to grab the URL from the share tab here, because this will not work. This is not the real video URL. This is basically the shortened URL, so you don't want this, okay? You want to make sure you grab this one up here in the address bar, and you want to make sure that the video URL doesn't have anything appended to the end of it, such as code that describes where you clicked on the vehicle from or anything like that. You want to make sure that it's just the video URL where it says watch V equals and then a bunch of letters and numbers here. This is basically the video ID. So if your video URL has something like an and sign and then a bunch of other stuff like autoplay or something like that, you want to make sure you get rid of all that stuff. And make sure you grab just the video URL itself. So we're just going to copy that video URL, and we're going to paste it into the site. Another thing I want to point out, that if you have an S after the HTTP here, your video will not show up. So that basically means that it's a secure URL. If you copy here in your YouTube link and it has an S after HTTP, make sure that you go ahead and delete that and just have HTTP:// and then the link of your video. The next thing you can do is you can enter some details about the vehicle itself. I'm just going to grab some lorem ipsum text here to fill up that box to show you how it works. So maybe you have a write-up about a vehicle or some more details about it or some history on it. You can just go ahead and paste that info in there. So we're just going to click update, and I'll show you how it updates on the listing itself. So we refresh the page. You can see that the details are there, but the video is not. So let's see if we did something wrong here. Okay, so you have to enter, I just learned this myself, you basically have to enter in the width and the height of your video, or it will not show up. So again, make sure you don't have the S there after HTTP, and make sure you enter in the height of your video. I would just put 640 by 380 there, and then just click save, and your video will appear in the video tab right here. And then you can click over and view the details that you basically pasted in as well. So moving on, you can also choose to enter some settings here or some details that you want to appear on the compare page. So if you go into here under compare item, you can enter details that you want to appear on the compare page. So let's go over to templates, compare listings, and we'll just select a few random listings here. And you can see that we don't have the specific price on the compare page in the demo theme. We have the destination charge. We have a few different additional options here that don't appear on the listing itself. So these values here, whatever shows up here, is what's entered here under compare item. So maybe you want to copy the exact number down, you can, but in this case the MSRP of the vehicle might be a little bit higher than the price. So maybe the MSRP is a dollar range of $19,000 and $29,000, for example. Maybe the destination charge is $1,500, but maybe the invoice price is only $27,000. Okay, so you'd enter that here. Then you'd enter the available engines. I'll just select one from the list that we created earlier. Transmission, fuel economy, or the fuel in the city might be 21 miles per gallon, while the highway might be higher. In this case, we'll put like just a higher number for demo purposes. And then you can give a star rating of the vehicle. And then you can just click update to save those changes. And whatever you enter, whatever we just entered right there will basically appear under these options here. The star rating will appear, and the fuel economy on the highway, the city, all that info will be displayed under the compare listings tab. So we'll just select our test vehicle that we created right now just to show you what it's doing so far. You can see that it doesn't have a photo yet because we haven't added a featured photo to the listing yet. I'll show you how to do that next. But you can see that the prices and the engine options and the transmission options that we just entered on the other tab here is what's showing up here. The next thing I want to show you is the featured image and where it's used on the theme. So if you're looking at the listing itself, we'll go to the listing. You can see that the images that we uploaded earlier appear within the listing itself. All the options that we set on the vehicle, the video that we added, the details about the listing are all here. But if we were to go to, like the compare page, like I just showed you, there wouldn't be any images of the vehicle at all. It's basically a blank photo here with just the numbers. So to add an image that is used on different parts of the theme, such as in the compare page and on the inventory listing page. For example, you can see here our listings automatically showed up, but there's no image there. We need to add a featured image to the item. So to do that, all you have to do is just scroll all the way down, and under set featured image, just click the set featured image link, and you can select one of your images that you uploaded to this post, and you can select the one you like the most, and then just go over here and select set featured image. And that's going to set that image as the featured image for this listing. So if we click update and we go back to the home page where there was a blank listing there, if we click refresh, you'll see that our new featured image is showing up there representing that post. And if we were to go to the compare page and select our test vehicle and compare it with something else, you'll see that that image is what's being used to represent that particular vehicle. So we talked a little bit about category types earlier on in this video and how you can add different categories within them. So I just want to show you this in a little bit more detail. So again, under the listing menu here, we've already talked about how to add a new listing. We've already talked about how to add tags to your listing in different categories. But if we were to click on any of these category types here, for example, condition, you can see all the different categories that are under this category type. So we can add multiple different categories that fall under the condition category type. So maybe we didn't want to call it new, maybe we could call it slightly new. Maybe we didn't want to call it used, maybe we could call it rebuilt. Whatever you want to do, and however whatever niche you're targeting, however they word things, you might want to go in here and change these category types to be whatever you want. Again, you can change the year to every year or every 5 years, whatever you want to do here. A little bit more on the items category type. again, I told you that you want to have one master category. I'll just go ahead and delete this trucks one that we created. You want to have one master category that every item falls under. And I recommend naming it something like inventory. And then every time you create a new listing, just make sure that you assign that listing to this master category. And you can also create different subcategories underneath this master category if you want to separate things down a little bit more. Like, for example, maybe you wanted to create a category called, I don't know, featured vehicles or featured trucks or something like that. Then you could select under all these widget settings, you could select which category that you want to display items in this widget from. So maybe if we only wanted to display new trucks in this under the related listings widget, then we'd create a category called new trucks, and then we would select that category to be displayed on this widget here. That's totally optional, but if you want to keep things simple, just create one master category called inventory and leave it like that. So this video is getting pretty long, so the last thing I want to point out is the sidebar that actually shows up for each listing on your site. So you'll see that no matter what you view on the site, each page has its own sidebar. For example, the default page template has a sidebar on the right. Any widgets that you enter in this sidebar will appear on every page that is using the default page template. So it's the same with the item listings themselves. So I'll just go back to this item here. You can see our items have a sidebar on the left, and any widgets that we enter in the sidebar for this sidebar here will appear for each listing. So if we were to go under Appearance, Widgets, the sidebar that shows up on each item is called the Item Listing Widget area. So you can see we've got a text widget here displaying a contact form here. We've got a testimonial widget that's displaying 4 testimonials right here, and we've got the related listings widgets that is displaying the related listings of this item. Again, you can control whatever appears here by creating different categories for your items and assigning this widget to display items from that category. But let's say you wanted to add something else. Maybe you wanted to add a banner or a different contact form, or maybe an opt-in form that shows up on the left side of each item. Then you would basically just add that widget to this item listing widget area. For example, let's say we wanted to add the word test, for example. We'll just call this test widget, and we'll say testing 1, 2, 3, just to show you what happens. If we go back to the item and refresh the page, you can see that that text widget or that test widget that we just created has appeared, and it will appear on every listing on the site. So again, if you want to put like a banner image or an opt-in form, that's all you would need to do is basically just add a new image or add a new widget to this item listing widget area, and then just save it, and it will appear to the left of every item. So that's it for adding items and listings to the theme. It's there is a lot involved. It might take you a few times to get the hang of it. And I know we've covered a lot in this video, but I kind of wanted to cover everything at once. If you have any questions at all, just let me know, and I'll cover it more in another tutorial.